All right, appreciate everyone showing up. This is just going to be in like fashion, going to be a quick hangout, but yeah, we all know how that goes. Basically, just getting right into it, just want to pass a few things. Again, I do thank you for showing up because without you guys actually showing up, um, there is no progress, there is no business, there is no moving forward. Also, understand that the more you show up to these little hangouts and get information, the more this information is going to become a part of you, the more it's going to get into your brain, and the more you'll be able to transfer that information to other folks, because you will soon start realizing that it's not just showing up to a hangout, but it's constant edification. And the more you learn, the more you listen, the more you'll start teaching. And the more you'll start teaching, the more you establish yourself as an authority. And that is where the tipping point is. It's one thing to just simply tell somebody, hey, I can show you how to make money online, but it's another to actually set them down and say, look, here are the step-by-steps. This is exactly what I've been doing. This is exactly what my guys, my leaders, my people are showing me what to do. It's working for them. It's working for me. And if you do it long enough, I can tell you it will work for you. And when you are able to communicate in that way to your folks, that's going to influence them. They're going to trust in you. They're going to believe you, and then they're going to join you. So then you understand that it's not really about making money, but it's really about teaching and mentoring and guiding and showing folks exactly what you're doing. In my own case, people ask me, well, why are you sharing everything that you're doing? Because as marketers, and I'm sure you've seen this, there are some marketers who hold back certain information only until you get into their deep inner circle. And I just never liked that personally. I mean, I'm like, look, if I'm joining you in business, share with me exactly what you're doing, because that's going to make me as successful as you are. And if I reach that same level of success, that's your income because you sponsored me. So why not show me what to do to become successful? What's that? 310 million people in America, 7 billion people on the planet. Absolutely nothing is going to get saturated. Nothing is going to get promoted to death. With all of those people, we hardly make a dent in the whole population. So I bring that up because marketers, they think, oh, I don't want this to become saturated, or I don't want this secret traffic source to be exhausted, and so they keep certain information from their folks. And so it's not my intention to do that, but it's also my intention to share with you why you should be forthcoming with your folks. And that's also telling them when are they going to make money, because at the end of the day, the money is the bottom line. And a lot of people like to ask, when am I going to start making money? Well, you have to understand that marketing is a process, which is actually what I'm going to be talking about. Marketing is a process, and marketing takes time. Okay, a lot of people will join, and then they think that immediate profits is going to happen. They join a program, they post a link on Facebook, and then they're going to be raking in profits, when that's hardly the case. Again, marketing is a process. It takes time. Okay? It takes time. What you are really doing is building rapport and relationships with folks. Now, when you join a business, you have your capture page, you have your marketing system, you have your deal. In order to make money, in order to put money in your pocket, you need a lot of folks to see that capture page, to opt in with their real email, to see your presentation, to actually watch your presentation, and to actually be in a position to join your business. That takes time to go through enough people, to find enough people to make a profit from that process. Folks give up in the beginning when they get 10, 12, 20, 50 leads and no signups because they think that it's an immediate turnaround, when in reality it's not. So the same way I say put out videos, the same way I say to put out written content, blog posts, social media posts, the same way I say build your own networks, your own little team followings, which will turn into massive team followings, your own groups, your own hangouts. All of these pieces is a part of this whole marketing process. And again, it takes time. It's not going to be, I'm going to join this business, I'm going to buy 500 clicks in traffic, and I'm going to earn $1,000 a week. That's hardly the case. So just understand that it's a process. It takes time. Time to build rapport and relationships. Now, when folks come to your capture page and put in their email, these are strangers. These are people who are cold. They don't know you. They don't know who you are, and they probably don't even remember putting their name and email into your website to begin with. And so what we're doing is taking those folks and immediately trying to get them in our business, when that hardly ever happens. Now, some cases it will, because some people are needing something and that they are in a position, but that's a very small percentage of folks. I tell people, and I say this all the time, the majority of my signups I'm getting today have opted into my list at least a month ago. Some of these folks have been on my list for 7, 8 months. So in my own case, you know, we have the Power Lead system, we have Lead Lightning. People who joined me in Lead Lightning 6 and 8 months ago are just now upgrading to Gold. Today, in fact, I had 3 members who are Lead Lightning members upgrade to Gold who have been on my list for at least 6 months. So understand that that's a process. What if in the past 6 months I would have changed my business all around 4 or 5 times? I would have never stuck it out until I've got to this point to where those folks who have been on my list for those 6 months are now upgrading into the current plan that is laid out. So again, just understand that it's a process. It takes time. People just don't have the money. The majority of folks who opt into these capture pages, who are looking for these biz ops, if you will, the majority of those folks don't have $5,000 in a checking account to just drop on a program. They don't have $10,000. They don't have $150 a month to be paying for some stuff that they may or may not use. So when you get that mentality, then understand where these folks are. And so it's up to us as marketers to reframe our business and to present it in a way to where they can. Hence, in my own case, I came up with the broke man's plan. I saw how this process worked for me, and so taking that and in turn teaching that to my guys, when I say my guys, I mean my list, my prospects, my team, that sort of deal. So it's taking the information you have and presenting it in a way that I want to say a 10-year-old can understand, because you do have to break things down on its simplest level. This right here establishes yourself as a teacher. It gives you authority, and it shows your new folks that you know what you're talking about and you're trustworthy. This right here is part of that building rapport, building relationships. If you can show somebody, if you can teach them something and they've learned a valuable skill from you, that builds rapport. They immediately have a relationship with you, and that opens the door to trust. If your leads don't trust you, they're not going to join you. Because you got to think about money. People like money. People will only part with their money if they feel they are getting something more valuable than their money. Does that make sense? So, for example, if I have $3,000 and I want to buy a used motorcycle, that used motorcycle is worth more to me than the $3K cash I have in my pocket. You get what I'm saying? So you take that same concept and apply it to these businesses that we're doing here. Folks may or may not have the cash, and some folks do have the cash. Sorting through those folks to find the folks who have the cash is a process. Again, it takes time. And when you do find those folks who do have the cash, you have to build relationships, build rapport with those folks. That also takes time. How do you build relationships and rapport with folks online who opted into your website, who is really just an email to you? Well, you do that through your content. You do that through your videos. You do that through these Hangouts. For example, with my list, something I'm going to start doing is emailing out these Hangouts to, it does a number of things. It shows the folks that I'm a real person. I'm not going anywhere. I've learned a few things. I'm not going to sit here and say I know what I'm talking about, because that's a real dangerous position to be in, because I'm always learning. You don't know what you don't know. But I have learned a few things when it comes to marketing online, and when I can effectively communicate that to my leads, they're going to start trusting me more, because right now I'm just some random guy on the internet. This is just some guy talking. I don't know who he is. After getting my emails for a couple of months, they now know, okay, this guy's name is Rob Frazier. He's a former Marine. He lives in Oceanside, California. Probably shouldn't be saying all that stuff online, but you see how I go from just a random guy on the internet running his mouth to now a person that they know. I have a first, I have a last name. They know where I live. They know what I do. They see my results. And over time, as they keep getting content from me, video, written content, my results, then they will start, a relationship starts to develop there. I send them Hangouts. They learn different things from the Hangouts. They start trusting me more as an authority. The more they start trusting me, the more they will join me. And that process takes time. It's not an instant buy 1,000 clicks and have this whole thing worked out. It takes time. It could take months in some cases. So you got to think, when folks opt into a capture page, they're cold. They're strangers. They don't know us from anybody. And so what we're doing is taking them from that complete stranger through a process, moving them closer and closer to a buying decision. They may not buy right then and there. And here's another little blurb. A lot of folks want to ask, what was your results from your 1,000 clicks you ordered from Traffic for Me? How many immediate signups did you get? How many of them are active? It's hard to answer that question because it takes time for folks to join. Again, some folks, it takes at least a month for you to get through that process of establishing rapport and building a relationship with them. And by building a relationship, I'm not talking about becoming best friends and text buddies and in each other's back pockets. I'm talking about just effectively showing folks that you are someone that they can trust, that you will help them, and that what you're doing is sound. It's a good strategy, good process, and that they can get results from it if they follow you and follow your guidance. So those are just 3 main points. Just want you to get from this hangout. Marketing is a process. It takes time to build those rapport, build those relationships. You're moving people who are cold, strangers, don't know you from anybody, those folks into business partners. A lot of people say what's the analogy of you wouldn't go to a club and ask the girl, the guy to marry you right then and there. You would exchange numbers first, you would talk, you would text, you'd do all this sort of stuff and move that process, the courtship process. These businesses are the same thing. You just don't know who is out there online. And for that matter, you will also learn who you do not want to work with as well. And so, again, you do not want everyone in your business. I'll tell you that right now. A lot of people still have the employee mentality, and you just can't save everyone, quote unquote. You just can't have everyone in your business, because some folks, the people who demand the most time from you, statistically are going to quit. Period. I found that myself. Guys, I've spent hours on the phone with, hours setting up their sales funnel, and then 3 weeks later they're in some new deal with some new marketing system, and they're totally in another deal. So is why you have to maintain some sort of I don't know what you want to call it, discretion, or it's not the word I'm looking for, but I guess discretion. You want to maintain, was it discretion?
Yeah, discretion. Well, it's not really discretion. You kind of have to interview them first. There's always that gut feeling on those kind of people.
Yeah.
And sometimes you know off the bat, and sometimes you don't. It's when you actually get into deeper conversations that you realize that kind of stuff. And so it's hard to know sometimes right at first, but it will eventually reveal itself
over time.
It happened to me over time. And
don't be afraid to cut those folks off, because you're responsible for your business. You have to move that thing forward. No one else is going to do it for you. If people on your team are needing so much attention, that's less attention you're spending in your own business. Now, there's some people with different mentalities. Now, but just think about this, okay? Just honestly think about this, because this is one thing I've dealt with and I've had to deal with. When it's just you, and you sign up your first 2, 3, 5, 10 people, and those folks say each of those folks need an hour to help teach them and set up their system. No big deal in the beginning when it's just you. You have all the time in the world to help them with their systems. When you go from that to signing up 50 people a day, do you have 50 hours in a day to help every single one of them set up their funnels? No, you don't. Do you have time to be answering phone calls literally 24/7? There's people texting me at 3 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock. I mean, I understand they're in different parts of the world, but when you go from signing up 5, 10 people a week to 50, 100 people a week, that no longer becomes manageable on your own time frame. And I'm just going to mute someone. I think they're making some noise. But you just can't. It's just not practical. We're in the business of creating freedom. So it goes from communicating one-on-one, and right now I still have no problem with getting folks on the phone. However, now it's changed to they have to join and be active, and then I'll talk with them on the phone, because it's no longer manageable for me to call my leads and call people who haven't joined yet. So just a tiny little blurb there, but just understand that as you move up in this marketing process, what I've been talking about this whole Hangout, just understand that you are going to have to find ways to communicate on a mass level. So, for example, videos and blogs are the absolute best way to do that, because instead of sitting here on the phone or on Facebook Messenger saying the same thing, I have a video that those folks can go watch, that they can watch over and over and over again, that hundreds of other people can watch at the same time. So, but again, this is a process. In the beginning, just talk about your the how-to content. If you're not making money yet, just talk about what you're doing, what you're learning. That's putting out content. That content is going to establish you as an authority over time. What have I been saying this whole Hangout? Marketing is a process. It takes time. It takes time for you to establish yourself as an authority. I have over 1,000 videos on YouTube, and every single day folks approach me. Hey, I saw your video on such and such. Hey, I saw your video on this. I got a couple questions. It takes time to get into this position. And just understand, in the beginning, you got to go through that grind to get to that process. If you give up, if you keep changing direction, you're never going to rise above the rest of the noise out there. So again, just understand that it takes more than just filming a video a day for 2 months. It takes more than buying 1,000 clicks in traffic every single week for 2 months. It's something you just have to commit to and to just do. Keep doing it. Just keep doing it. That's the thing. Just keep doing it, because the folks who opted into your list 6 months ago are watching you. This is part of that trust and rapport building. It takes time to build trust with folks. It takes time. Repetition builds trust. The more you hammer your message home, the same message, the longer you hammer that same consistent message over and over and over again, the more you are going through the repetitions needed to get that trust from those people you want to influence to join your business. If you keep changing your message, if you're wishy-washy, folks aren't going to listen to you. If you do change, if you follow me closely, you know I've changed out a program. Explain yourself and move on, and just keep hammering it, and don't do it again. Like right now, my current system that I'm personally doing, it's not changing. And if something crazy happens to one of the companies, well, then I'll have to change it. But as of right now, nothing is changing. And so just understand that. Don't. If you see yourself getting locked in or just not progressing as fast as you want, you have the freedom to change. So just understand that part as well. And things like that reveal themselves to you over time. Not really going to get into that too much, but just understand that this whole marketing process, again, it's a process. It takes time. It takes time to build rapport, build relationships with folks you want to join your business. And again, you're moving complete strangers on the internet to folks that you're doing business with. Same thing with buying traffic. If you're buying traffic, folks are opting into your capture pages. These are cold strangers, and I'm repeating this point again to make sure it sets in. These are strangers. They don't know you. They're not going to want to spend money with you the first presentation that they see through your website. So again, it takes time. You're going to have to shoot a video. You're going to have to email it to your leads. Write a blog post. Email it to your leads. The more you, I'm going to say, the more you hit them with different angles, the more they see you're doing videos, the more they see you're writing blog posts, the more they see you active on social media, they start thinking, man, this guy or gal's pretty serious. They're putting out content all over the place. They seem to be pretty solid. They aren't changing. I think I can trust this guy. You know what? Let me reach out to this guy. Hey, I've been getting your emails for the past 5 months. I'm just a little curious on whatever XYZ blah blah blah, and just interact with them. I don't mean necessarily get on a phone and spend hours with them like I used to, but just interact with them, go back and forth with the email. Hey, I got your question. I answered it in this video. Watch this video, and then email me if you have another question on that, and just kind of go from there. And then that's really it. But it just takes time. Folks give up too soon, and this industry isn't made for most people to succeed because there's so much crap out there to distract you. A new program every 10 seconds is coming out there, and so many folks are flip-flopping and switching and all of this stuff. It just takes focus. Just hit the same message over and over and over again. Stay consistent. Keep doing your reps. If you want to get big muscles, you have to do lots and lots of reps. And it's just that simple. Repetition builds trust. Trust will give you sales. Trust will give you business partners. And I see Phaser over there shaking his head no. Okay, lots of reps with heavy weight will give you big muscles. But in this industry, if you stay focused, that right there is that heavy weight you have to keep lifting, because it's hard to stay focused because there's so much crap out there coming out every single day hitting you from different directions. So just stay focused. Understand, again, marketing is a process. Marketing takes time. It takes time to build relationships and rapport with folks. It takes time to get them to trust you. And you're moving cold strangers who don't know you. I don't know you. I'm not going to listen to what you have to say. What you talking about, Willis? Who are you? You're moving those folks into business partners. That's going to take more than 10 autoresponder messages. That's going to take more than 15 cookie cutter autoresponder messages. That's going to take reaching out. Share with them a video. Share with them a blog post. Do a video on your results. Share it with them. Just keep sharing your stuff with your leads, and just understand that these are real people. If you don't like hearing make $10,000 a month online emails, your leads aren't going to like hearing that stuff either. So just understand that, and just keep trying to reach through the computer and establish a relationship. Just imagine your perfect ideal prospect is sitting right across from you, and you're typing up a message to send to them. And just do that with your leads, and just keep doing that. Keep hammering the same message over and over and over again in different ways. Don't just beat them over the head with join, but share with them different things, tips, tricks, life lessons applied to marketing. Share with them what you're currently doing. Hey, I went on vacation. Thankfully, this new system that I've been doing actually helped pay for my vacation. In the past, I would have been worried about this and that. But again, I found a way to separate myself from having to actually be in front of my computer making money. And again, I went to this place. Here's a couple of pictures. Had a great time. I don't know where you're at in life, but again, if you are needing some extra income, we have a system for you to follow. It's a step-by-step. Everything is laid out. We have everything, business, the traffic, the marketing system. We have the support. We have the group. We have the networks. We have whatever you need to help get you to where you need to be. However, you need to make the decision. You need to take action, and you need to go through the information. Click this link, business presentation. So I'm not just saying, great new system, make 10K a month, click here. No, I'm talking about myself that gets the person to know me, to peek into my world, to see what I'm currently doing. That right there is moving that person from a stranger. I don't want to say a friend, but it's that same process. You're moving that person from a complete cold stranger to getting to know you. The more they see your message, the more that's those same repetitions you're building. Repetition builds trust. Trust will give you sales. We all want to put money in our pocket. This is how you're going to get money from other people. Bottom line, this is the process to do that, and this is what I've learned over the past few months. And again, this is what I want to keep communicating to help you keep hammering that same message so that you can get these same results in your business. So that being said, going to open it up for questions who folks are in the room. I'm pretty sure folks have probably sent me some Facebook messages as well. I don't know if I can unmute folks. I know I've muted a few folks, but if you have a question, if you can find a way to unmute yourself or type it in the side, or I'm going to check Facebook to see if I got any messages over there, or if you have any.
Yes, yeah, I'm on my phone, so to unmute myself, I just tap my phone.
Okay. So are you typing, or what are you doing?
No, I was just saying that if you want to unmute yourself, what you can do, well, I'm on my phone, so I just tap the screen and there's a mute button there.
Okay.
And I just tap that and it unmuted me.
What time is it over here in the UK? Like 1 a.m.?
It's quarter to six.
Quarter to six, yeah.
Man, you guys are dedicated.
Those are dedicated people. Hey, I'm in the back seat of my car at watching, I was watching a rehearsal for marching band, so, taking a little bit of time out.
Honestly, guys, it's not just, it's Alison here, it's not just dedication. I think the message is they say when you want to be successful, you have to hang around people who are succeeding. So there's always quite a lot of stuff to pick up from you guys, and that is why we always come into Hangouts. I mean, coming from my own background, I think it's a whole new experience. So every little helps. We've got a chain of stores here called Tesco. I'm sure Pfizer knows Tesco very well. So Tesco says every little bit helps, So that's what we're doing around here, and it's great to be around here. I think, Rob, from what you just said, it taking time. I think my own list is just beginning to wake up. I do get all sorts, just like what you're saying, which is why I find this Hangout so useful, because it makes me relate to, what I'm experiencing now with my own development and growth in internet marketing. And the list is growing up. I'm just about finishing up a blog now with WordPress, and I was still thinking about how to engage my list. So I sent out an email yesterday saying, I've just done this blog. What do you guys think? Honestly, I didn't think anybody was going to respond, but people came back with lots of saying it's good, it's this. Add some color here, add some color. I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I'm engaging these guys,
Yeah, cool. So I did the same thing when I started mine, and I got feedback too. I was like, cool.
Yeah, it was great. Nice. Yeah, and that's what we're picking up from here, what to do and how to engage these guys. And I mean, you still get all sorts of people telling you their life stories and stuff. But in fact, one gave me in fact, I've not even finished reading her feedback. It was so detailed. What I have to do that, it was really quite good. Yeah, close one. Yeah, so I mean, the Hangouts are quite very, very useful for people like us who have been, just been doing this since, marketing since August, really. So there's a lot for us to learn. So thank you very much for the initiative and the leadership. Really appreciate it, guys. Really do.
Cool. Thank you for sharing. And that's what it is. Just ask a question and see what kind of stuff you get back, and you'd be surprised. Folks are just waiting to give you their opinion. People like to be listened to. That's one thing I'm learning, is to shut my big fat mouth and let folks, if I ask them a question. I also have another question I want to get to. I have questions about the rotator. When you say promote one link everywhere, does that mean promote other places? And that link would be when whatever system you're doing, and it's important to focus. So if you're promoting a funnel that has 3 opportunities within it, i.e. 4 corners, power lead, traffic monsoon, you keep promoting that same link. Now with Power Lead System, you can change the capture pages, but again, just keep hammering that same message, because if you keep switching it around, and I've done this myself, you can actually see my history where I've kept switching and experimenting and testing. That stalled my results, because I went from getting 50, 60 signups down to like 20 and 30 signups. And when you're getting 50 and 60 signups a day down to 20 and 30, that's a dip. That's like, man, what's happening? It's because I kept switching, and it's a deeper concept. You're switching your energy, you're switching your focus, and you're diffusing your momentum. So get that. It's not just about multiple streams of income and focusing on one opportunity. It's about where your attention is going, and your attention and your energy. If you keep putting it out in all of these different areas, you're not going to be great in any one area. It's like if I want to be a great boxer, if I want to be the best boxer there is, why am I going to go study grappling? It doesn't make sense. Why am I going to go study wrestling? I'm going to boxing. Boxing is the only thing that's going to dominate my thoughts if I want to become a great boxer. Boxing, period. Watch boxing films, study the greats in boxing, get a boxing mentor, get a boxing coach, box the hell out of boxing every single day if I want to be great at boxing. So hopefully you kind of get my point there. If I want to be a great yoga person, I'm not going to lift weights every day. I'm going to be practicing some yoga. So this the same idea. In the beginning, when you have a sizable marketing budget, then and only then you can start spreading out, promoting your different systems. So hopefully I answered that question. You don't seem to be getting too many views. Again, I would recommend going back to my Broke Man's Plan. Go to YouTube Broke Man's Plan, and actually go to my channel and watch my playlist on the Broke Man's Plan. Watch the third video. Watch videos 3 and 4, and get that. Also, I will say this is an example of how you can answer questions on the mass level rather than having to keep repeating yourself. You can actually refer people to your information. Your information. If you have the content, you take ownership of it, and your folks, for example, if you're referring people to my content, that's great, but that's great for me, but that's not great for you. I'm just be honest. If you refer people to my content, they're going to see me as the overall authority, and folks will join me instead of you. You want them to see your content, your words, your written content, even if you do need to add colors to it, or if you do need to change some stuff around. But once they see your stuff, you are the authority. And I just seen a question pop up. How soon do I create your content? Now. Like 10 minutes ago. Also, I want to see the Broke Man's Plan. Couldn't wait to 50 ad packs. Get PLS. Yes, Power Lead system is a powerful system. But again, you have to learn it. Another thing, as you learn how to work the Power Lead system, put out that content. This is how you create an autoresponder. This is how you create a capture page. This is how you create a sales page. This is how you plug in a share code for the sales funnel. You create those videos. That establishes content, which promotes you. That puts your marketing message out in the marketplace. That establishes you as an authority. Again, marketing is a process. It takes time. The more you put out this content, the more folks will start seeing it, the more folks will start trusting it, the more folks will start joining it. Again, it's a process. It takes time. Don't be afraid to put out the content. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end up wrapping up this Hangout. If anyone has any other questions, try not to really get into how-tos. But again, if anyone has any other questions, I think I answered most of the ones that were on the slide. I want to say the Broke Man's Plan. Also, I'll say a couple things on a Broke Man's Plan. Here it is. I'm not here to play wrestling. Okay. I think I need to mute someone. I hear some feedback. Look, here it is. My advertising pays, which is another rev share. I'm not going to. My advertising pays and Traffic Monsoon are not even in the same category, if you ask me. Even in the beginning, when I joined Traffic Monsoon, because they have outside traffic, I would still buy that traffic in the beginning to promote my business, even without the rev share aspect. So I've done it myself. The massive traffic, yes. The 5,000 clicks for $5, and that you may or may not get one lead from. Yes, I've bought that traffic, and I've consistently bought it over and over and over again. Well, 800 plus signups. I think the idea is, here it is. And I've just had this conversation earlier too about traffic. The name of the game is traffic. You have to get as many folks to see your capture page as possible. This is going to create. This is part of that process I told you about. It's not an overnight deal. It takes time, and you are going to have to expand your marketing footprint every single day. Every single day I do a video, it expands my online presence. It just builds, and I'm going to just say compounds. It grows on itself. When you have one video, that's one video promoting you, getting you attention. If you have 1,000 videos, that's 1,000 times the power of one video. So, for example, my stats in YouTube. Every single day, both of my YouTube channels are watched for close to 30 hours. 30 hours, whether I promote my videos or not. If I go on vacation and I go back and I check my YouTube stats, 30 hours a day, people are watching my content. Are they watching my current content? Yes, no. Are they watching videos over and over again? I don't know. But again, that's 30 hours of my message being communicated out there. You should work to establish the same thing for your own business. So the more videos you have, and you don't have to be crazy, just do a video a day, a video a week, 2 videos a week. Just get in a routine and just keep it up. And then eventually you'll get the brand, you'll get the conviction, you'll get the trust, you'll build the repetitions, and you'll start getting the money. And yes, it's all about the traffic. Never let up with the traffic. Just keep it on. I'll look at the massive traffic. The massive traffic, it's what I suggested in the beginning, because when you're first starting, you don't have, well, most people do not have the ability to buy 50 clicks at 60 cents a click every single week. You have to start somewhere. Okay? Now, the massive traffic on Traffic Monsoon, are there places you can get better traffic to get more leads and stuff? Yes, but you're going to pay more of a premium. So with Traffic Monsoon, yes, I think it's what, $5 for 2,500 clicks, $9 for 5,000 clicks. This is traffic coming from outside sources to Traffic Monsoon, but it is other traffic exchanges, so your opt-in rates will be lower. Now, some people will say, "Oh, I bought 5,000 clicks and got 0 leads." Okay, I've bought what's that? I think I bought the 25,000 click package multiple times and haven't got leads, but I kept buying it until I got to a place to where I could buy solo ads. You see what I'm saying? And I just kept doing it, whether I got leads or not, because for me, myself, that gave me the muscle memory, that gave me the... Right now, I buy traffic without even thinking about it. Like right now, I'm buying 2,800, actually, let me look at my actual numbers, because I'm tracking this. Last week, I spent $2,038 in traffic. 3,650 clicks last week. How did I get there? By doing the same things I'm telling you. In the beginning, I was broke. If I had $5 to spend on traffic monsoon package, here I come. $9 a week, traffic monsoon package, here I come. And I didn't care. I didn't care if I got signups. I didn't care if I didn't get signups. I didn't care if I didn't get leads. What I cared about was it's given me the muscle memory. It's given me the experience to survive buying traffic. Not to mention it's all coming from profits anyway. So why not give yourself a chance at getting signups? And I have got leads and I have got signups from that traffic. You just never know where that person is going to come from. I joined Traffic Monsoon through another traffic exchange. And now I'm making, what's it like, $1,500 a day. I'm withdrawing about $550 every single day. And it was because of another traffic exchange. So you just never know where that person is going to come from, is my point. So don't write it off as crap traffic. It's just different traffic, different mentality. Traffic exchanges, the majority of people are clicking ads just to click ads and to share in a rev share. However, one of my largest legs in Four Corners have come from an ad pack in Traffic Monsoon. Guy in Brazil. Sorry, Phaser. He thinks he's my other large leg in Four Corners. But again, it came from an ad pack. You never know where that person is going to come from. So do not write off any one traffic source. So I'll just say that much. I think I answered your question, Lisa. Let me know if you also if any other folks have any other messages or I'm sorry, questions. I think I muted everyone, but Rob, are you leading with Ian now over Four Corners? Yes, that's my own personal decision. I've explained why I'm doing that on my videos. And again, this goes into what I was mentioning earlier. It's a process. It takes time. It takes time for you to learn what's going to be more profitable over time. And I've thought about this for hours and hours and hours. It wasn't a whim, and actually, Empower was always a part of my process. So whether I promoted Four Corners, Power Lead, Traffic Monsoon, and then eventually when those folks get to 50 ad packs, I approach them with Empower, which was my strategy. Or if I just swapped out Four Corners on the front end. Now, I still promote the broke man's plan. So for example, when I'm promoting Empower, folks opt in. If they don't join, eventually I approach them with the broke man's plan. That consists of Four Corners, Lead Lightning, and Traffic Monsoon. This week, does it work? Yes. This week, not even promoting Four Corners hard. I think I'm at like 10, 12 signups, and Lead Lightning about $120 in Lead Lightning sales. So it helps to have different angles, but again, it's the same 4 programs and it's not changing. I just rearranged what I'm doing. So just get that. And so some folks will say, yeah, Rob, on one end you're talking about staying consistent and staying focused, and then on the other end you're switching. No, if you really pay attention to my bigger thinking here and actually pay attention to my last recent couple of videos, you'll see the thinking behind it. And I'll actually share it with you guys here. We've seen what happened with my advertising pays, most of us, leaving the U.S. Rev shares in the United States, I've always had a speckled history. Either which way you cut it. Yes, I love Traffic Monsoon. It's registered in the state of Utah. Yes, I trust Charles. But again, you just never know what's going to happen. So, in my case, most of my ad budget is coming from my Traffic Monsoon profits. So, here it is. In Four Corners, I sponsored 230, 240 people, and right now, it's anywhere from 150 to 200 bucks a week in my pocket, and I'm not even really promoting it hard. Power lead system, I'm just shy of $4 grand a month, and traffic monsoon, taking out like 500 bucks a day. It's my goal that I want to use all of my power lead system money to pay for my traffic. Okay? But I need money to live off of, and that Four Corners money just isn't delivering enough. So when I found that 220 folks in Four Corners is giving me 150, 200 bucks a week, and I'm gonna just do the math again. But 220 folks, and this is not a pitch. This is just my business decision, and I'm just sharing it with you folks. 220 folks in Empower at the basic level is $38.50 residual a month. I always suggest getting the basic level and getting the inner circle, because these are the audios I listen to over and over and over again to keep me motivated, to keep me learning about marketing. But again, 220 folks at the basic level is $38.50 a month. 220 folks at the inner circle and basic level is $19K a month, residual, every month, not just a one-time payment. So for the same amount of work, I'm giving myself a pay raise. You see what I'm saying? So eventually, my Empower Network income is going to match my PLS income. My PLS income is going to buy traffic. Everything I make in Empower is going to go in my pocket. This is independent of traffic monsoon. So hopefully you get my thinking there. Again, but other than that, nothing's changing. I still promote the same 4 programs. I tell folks, if you want to work with me, you're going to join all 4. If you're not in all 4, you're not going to get my attention. And if you're broke and you can't afford to join all 4, join my broke man's plan and work it until you get to a position to where you can. You see how that whole thing works? So that gets them, that separates people, because people are either going to listen to what I just shared or they're not. If they don't, have a nice life. If they do, then they have identified themselves as someone who's serious, someone who's going to stick it out, someone who can follow instructions, and someone who's going to get results. So hopefully you get that there. That makes sense. I'm still in the beginning with 6 ad packs and learning. It took me a year to truly understand maps, and that was my main traffic source. Yes, again, this is why I will always say never just put all your eggs in one basket. You want to just always have, I don't want to say backups, but just always have multiple sources to do things that you need to do. Don't just buy solo ads from one person. Don't just buy traffic from one traffic source. If you ask me, what am I still doing for my traffic? Traffic Monsoon, Udemy, yes, remember them? Even if they're changing their little, I don't know what the hell they're doing, but I still buy traffic occasionally from Udemy. I buy traffic from Solo Checker. In fact, this week I've bought, and also write down your traffic purchases. Write down the amounts of clicks. Write down the prices. Just keep track of your stuff. From Udemy, this week I've bought around 400 clicks from Solo Checker, 400 or 500 clicks. Traffic for me, 2,000 clicks. That's the bulk of my traffic buying. And I make connections with people on Facebook. I go to solo ad groups, solo ad testimonials, and I talk with folks there, and I buy from these guys too. So I kind of rotate my traffic orders. So I will always suggest do that. Don't just get stuck on any one source, because when they shut down, when your relationship with that source changes, you don't want to put yourself in a box. You want to have that freedom to still be able to do what you need to do for your business. So hopefully answer your question. Yeah. Thank you. But again, as much exposure as you can get, because this industry isn't meant for the average person to succeed. The average person just doesn't know exactly what you're going to need to do to get success. And it's a process. You got to keep marketing. You got to keep getting your link out there. You got to keep establishing relationships with lots and lots and lots of people. Not everyone is going to be listening. Not everyone is going to pay attention. Not everyone is going to accept your feedback. You're going to have people who join your team and who want to do things the hard way. And it's just you can't. You're not here to convince those people to follow what you're doing. It's okay, man. I told you what to do. I shared with you what I'm doing. You want to do it the hard way, fine. Have fun with that. If you want to work with me, you're going to do it my way, period. And not to say that your way is the only way, but understand that some people just aren't meant for what we're doing here. Any other questions before I wrap this up? We've been gone for about an hour. I always try saying we're going to do 30-minute hangouts, and here it is, an hour already. But there's so much information. I want you guys to go. What did you say the equivalent of EN versus? I would direct you to my YouTube channel to get that info. I just did a little blurb on that. I think right before you joined. But again, that's my own personal decision. But again, if you go to my, I'll talk with you offline. But I already kind of covered that in a little bit. But again, you know what's best for you, your family, your business, your income. And again, it takes focus. It takes persistence. It takes sticking it out. It takes dealing with jerks. It takes dealing with people who are broke. You get people all over the place. You get haters out there when you have enough content. And, you're just trying to do the best for you and your situation with the information that you currently have. And that's what everyone is trying to do. But again, you have folks out there dropping, hate comments, calling you a scammer, everything under the sun. But just keep moving forward. Just focus on one thing I have learned. It's best to not engage folks. When folks, I know I had a pretty colorful video on hater emails, but it's best to just not engage folks. If someone leaves a scammy comment on your YouTube, just ignore it. Just focus on what people are asking about, that are asking positive, constructive questions, and just put your energy there and just keep moving forward. With that being said, I'm going to end up wrapping up this Hangout. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. I'm going to end the broadcast right now.